$5,000 they were going to give to the association.
That's what I heard.
No, I only asked for $5,000. I only asked for $5,000.
I'm not going to speak for the current downtown association, but I know Christie from Arnfield said that there
is an association and there's actually a little money in the bank.
Correct. So, I mean, there is a nonprofit association. Right. I think the key is if everyone's interested in restarting that, to create a formal group that may not require $125 to $150 a year membership. We could create a downtown group, help to bring all the voices together, create communication for these meetings, and do all of that. But my vision
right now I'm hearing that there are a number of communications, but not everybody's on all the.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, what happened to that 5,000 that Art was talking about to get ball game? Where is it?
I have no idea. I mean, I'm just being completely honest with you. I don't know if that's something that they're planning on doing or not. But what I know that the city did not agree to run the Downtown Merchants Association. I think I heard that.
They turned me down on the request for the money, and they said we want to partner with this, and we want to hear everything, and we'll help you out. You give us the request. My point was that now everybody's not involved.
I don't think we could look at the city and say, give us money so that it'll solve
why not?
problems.
Why not? The chamber does it every year. Why can't a merchants association?
Well,
who's a member of the Merchants Association? I'm not. I didn't sign up. So that's part of my point. I think we can have these meetings, informal meetings, where we communicate by word of mouth, Dove, communication, whatever, however we want to communicate. But I think the key is, if you're going to create change and create a voice, we need to create a group, a legitimate organization of people. I think that all of us can pay $1 to the current Downtown Members Association to join, put our name on the line. We have a member list. We can then create decisions, voting. We can go to the city and say, we've decided as a collective that we want help from the city to fund a billboard, a news press release, email, marketing, whatever it is we want. But I don't know if having more meetings that are informal and whoever hears about it shows up, whoever doesn't, and then keep asking the city for things. And then talking with everybody at the city, they hear da 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 da. Right? They hear one person go da da da, another person go da. I think that we as downtown merchants need to come together, create one voice, and ask the city for that.
And I think what you're saying, Sean, and it kind of goes with what Lisa said a little while earlier, that Matt has identified 3 people sort of among this group. I think you said Eddie Anderson and
Amy Talbot.
Kathy and Amy Talbot, who, if those folks are a part of this group that you're describing, Sean, then instead of us all yammering at Matt, we yammer at those 3 and say, if you can get Irish Fling going, sign me up for the committee. If you can get Dine Around going, sign me up for the committee. And then those 3 say, okay, we've got half a dozen people willing to work on it, Joyce Vargas, and we'll do it, but we need the money and let's get at it. So we're kind of working our way towards that. But we just need to have some assurance that if the city's looking to those 3 folks, that we also are looking at those 3 folks to say, take my message, take my volunteering, take my offer to mail out letters, take my offer to stand out and check wristbands, whatever it is, and work with them to get some funding.
Because that's how we feel. We do these meetings, everybody shows up, we come up with these ideas, and then we come back the next time to find out that it's been taken care of, that the city is taking it over. They've got a committee, and we don't need to worry about it anymore. We'll just let you know when it's done. That's how I feel.
I do not. I hope that's not portrayed because
that's how I feel. That may not be anybody else, but
have a voice.
We were talking about.
Now you can talk through other people.
I need to stop being so shy.
When the group was about 11 years ago, when we did have a merchants association, it was very informal. We didn't really have all the paperwork and all that. But we did have, leaders that we picked every year, and then we all decided as a group what we were going to work on as a group, everyone. Now, we didn't have 3 representatives saying one thing, maybe a couple of someone in the group not liking it. We all did it as a group and agreed. And I think that's the best way to do it. And then each group, or whatever their specialty was, would be in charge of that event. And it worked out beautifully. I mean, we never had a
I mean, I could talk with Christie and the folks at, I forget her name,
Amy Talbot.
Amy. And you, and I think the key is, if you turned in your email address last time, I have it, or Melissa has it, I think the chamber is a great, I'm a double member of the chamber for both organizations. It's great for the county, but I think when you start looking at historic downtown, I think this additional association, it's already a nonprofit, it's already recognized, it's already in existence, it has a bank account, it has some money. I think we re-kickstart that than to try to restart anything else, or to make up something from scratch. So I think the key is, if somebody's got a pen, a piece of paper, and you haven't turned in an email address, pass it to me. I will take the lead in starting the communication. I'll talk with Christie and see if we can email out an additional meeting and a formal meeting of the Downtown Association. Get as many people there, charge $5 for dues. So we make it, so that everybody is a member, so they can get a vote, and then we can start to formalize that.
Sean, I would support that idea, and the reason is the other entities that we're dealing with, the city and the chamber, have responsibilities way beyond what our interests are. And they have an obligation, the city's got to deal with the folks on Wilson Road, they're the city too.
And manufacturing, and the college,
and the chamber's got to deal with the whole county, it's a county-wide organization. So we can't, I don't think, fairly expect either of those organizations to speak for us at the expense of the rest of their constituents. So we have to assume some responsibility for saying, okay, this is who we are, and this is what we need, and
group voice.
We're willing to do it.
I think that's the key, is a group voice. Well, right now, I think the city, at least, and I'm chatting with them, whether it's Jeff or Matt or Foster, somebody says, well, so-and-so said this, and somebody else said this, and so all they're hearing is everyone's differing opinions and views and ideas, and then they go, well, if I do this, then later on somebody else yells at me, or somebody else doesn't yell. Well, and so I think the key is to try to pull together. The group can have a much stronger voice.
There has to be a consensus.
Right.
Yes, and I think, well, if we're all on the same page, before we go ask the city or throw in, everybody puts in $50, we can do a mailing for 8 weeks and start, I mean, there's a lot of other things that we as a group can do that each one of us as an individual organization cannot. So I think that's the purpose of, I mean, you've got gay rights and religious rights and Italian Americans and Jewish League, I mean, there are tons of...
Did you have a Red Bull tonight?
No.
I just asked.
I was waiting on my wine, but usually, remember, I go coffee in the morning, wine at night. Hence,
Yeah, but it doesn't have to do with gay Italian.
No, the point being is that they're...
What?
My point was the NRA, the number of lobbying groups versus a single voice complaining. There are tons of groups, no matter whether you care about animals or you want to shoot them. As an NRA member, there is a wide number of groups. The power of groups for taking the Downtown Business Association as an example. If all of us join that and have collective money, collective voice, I think we can be more on the same page and communicate specials, deals, and help each other out.
Sean, that's exactly what we proposed 2 months ago, and we asked for some money up front because you're not going to walk in everybody's door and get $50. So that's
I don't think we need any money. I don't think we need money. We need a voice to start with, and then we say, what are we going to do with the money? If I turn around and say, hey, let's do 8 postcards and it's going to cost $400,
That's what
then we
community
do it.
is about.
That's what the whole group designed on.
Right, exactly. And what do we need? What do we want to do? And collectively do it as a whole.
Why you guys
I don't think
to
you need the
meet
money either. You were talking about $50 or whatever. That's my point is,
I
everybody,
said the
every
initial one was
business
every
down
joins
here.
for $1, you can be an
Well, that's-
official
hey.
member of the association for $1.
Yeah, that's what we need, but you're not gonna get $50 out of every door, so
Well, that's all right,
No,
you don't need
that's
to
fine.
do that
Don't
with
need
this,
$50.
yeah, that's what
$1.
we're trying to do, is come with the
$1.
Downtown Merchants Association,
Right,
so.
we kick it with $1 for every member. We'll start with the dues then until the group decides what needs to happen, and then the group votes on dues, raising dues, special.
And then?
And then if you want to get out, you had lost but $1.
They won't show up, you don't have to worry about it. But that gets the vesting of the different types of members that we're gonna have in this group, of those that are hobbyists versus business people. That's a whole nother discussion. If you're a hobbyist and you wanna work 4 days a week and be open 4 days a week, 4 hours a week, it's up to you. If you don't have to worry about paying rent, that's up to you.
How many businesses do we have, or we talked about, how many
In the historic downtown area?
Yeah, and how many businesses, I mean, we have, what, 16 people
What are you
over
asking,
here.
I'm sorry?
How many businesses, people do we have down?